Oh, good morning. Let me tell you, uh, wake-ups this morning were, real rough, y'all. But I'm here, and today we have got Batman's Guide to Crime and Detection. So this one's a little bit different. It's not like an arcing story, but I think it's got some really amazing information, and it's so cool. I love Batman. All right. So, let's see. How long are we going to read today? Yeah, I think we can go probably halfway. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, here we go. Batman's Guide to Crime and Detection. The Dark Knight. I'm Batman. I've dedicated my life to fighting crime, stopping and catching criminals, and solving mysteries. I patrol Gotham City from its shadowy rooftops. I battle criminals and supervillains using strength, skill, and cunning. But some of the most difficult work I do is not so different from the work done by police officers and detectives in your own city or town. Although much of what I do looks glamorous and exciting, I have caught just as many criminals using my knowledge of science as I have using my fists. Sometimes I act like a police officer patrolling the streets. Sometimes my job is that of a detective. I've spent long hours working in my laboratory in the Batcave, reviewing evidence, analyzing data, and examining the databases of known criminals. In this book, you will learn about some of the techniques used by real police forces to investigate crimes. You'll also learn a bit about me and my world. Now, there are like facts on the sides, so I'm going to read those to y'all too. Turning point. A terrible crime was the turning point in young Bruce Wayne's life. He saw his parents murdered right before his eyes, shot dead by a gunman in a dark alley. Also, they were watching Zorro in a movie theater that night as well. Detective in training. After his parents' murder, Bruce Wayne studied hard to learn all he could about fighting crime. He became an expert on the use of forensic science to catch criminals. Oh, wait. Excuse me. All right. A history of crime. For as long as people have gathered in groups, crime has existed. Whenever human beings get together, laws are made to set a code of behavior for the tribe, the town, or the nation. The act of breaking those laws is called a crime. And the people who break laws are called criminals. One of the earliest systems of law and punishment for crimes was established in ancient Greece in 621 BC. There, a lawmaker named Draco drafted a code of behavior for people to follow. However, he came up with only one punishment for breaking the law. When you committed a serious crime like murder or robbery, or were simply guilty of laziness, the sentence was the same: execution. Almost 1,000 years later, the Roman Emperor Justinian the Justinian the Great established a fairer system of law. Different crimes received different punishments according to the crime's gravity. Many of the modern world's legal systems are based on the Roman laws set forward by Justinian. That's a name. But not all systems of law are based on the Roman model. In many tribal cultures in Africa and Asia, laws are made and justice is handed out by tribal chiefs, aided by holy men. In some tribes, shaman and witch doctors make the law. All right, now let's read these Batman facts. Harsh words. The word draconian, derived from the lawmaker Draco's name, has come to mean anything that is excessively harsh. You might have been hearing that word in the news lately, actually. I think that's pretty nifty. Kind of a coincidence. Physical training. In order to prepare himself to fight crime, Bruce Wayne went through rigorous physical training, including weightlifting, rock climbing, and gymnastics. Combat ready. Bruce Wayne studied 127 styles of combat, from boxing to karate. A history of the police. All societies have to deal with crime, and all have systems of law to establish what behavior is acceptable and what goes against the better common good. Those people, given the task of preventing crimes and enforcing the law, are called police. One of the first police forces was formed in Paris, France in 1667. Chief of Police Lahani, I think is how you say that. Lahani took away a safe haven in the middle of the city where criminals used to hide. He also started police foot patrols and police patrols on horseback, called mounted police. In 1750, crime had gotten so bad in London that a force of 6 men, known as the Bow Street Runners, was organized to patrol the streets and chase after criminals night or day. The force soon expanded to fight the growing amount of crime. As settlers in the United States moved westward during the 1800s, crime went with them. Bank robbers, train robbers, and cattle and horse thieves were a constant threat in the American Old West. Local sheriffs and federal marshals were called out to enforce the law. In 1850, a man named Alan Pinkerton founded a private detective agency in Chicago, which still exists today. Private detectives still help police in their investigation of crimes. Okay. Scary symbol. Bruce Wayne knew that the eerie look of the bat would strike fear into the hearts of criminals. I don't know if you know this, but Batman actually got beat up real bad the first time he tried to go out and fight crime because, like, he was just a man. And so the criminals weren't scared of him. You know, I don't know, you guys might be too young. Y'all might be too young. But the movie Batman Begins is really good. It's showing that. That's from the comics. Peelers. London's Metropolitan Police became known as bobbies or peelers after Sir Robert Peel, the man who founded them. And Batman made his first appearance in Detective Comics in 1939. Yeah, Batman didn't have his own comic at first. He was in Detective Comics. Today's police force. Modern police forces have many resources at their disposal. Patrol cars, plus other land, sea, and air vehicles make searching for criminals or rushing to the scene of a crime fast and flexible. New communications systems, from walkie-talkies and radios to computers, allow for information to be shared quickly and easily. Although foot and car patrols are the backbone of any police force, various specialty officers make up a modern police force. Highway patrol officers check for speeding vehicles. Specially trained diving units look for clues underwater. Mounted police still patrol on horseback, even in some of the world's biggest cities like New York. They can move through gridlock traffic more easily than police cars. Other officers are trained in crowd control. Police stations are the command posts from which police forces do their work. A desk sergeant greets visitors and directs them to the proper department. Police stations contain offices, interrogation rooms, and a switchboard to receive emergency calls. Regular police officers are assisted by support staff, traffic wardens, and even civilian volunteers. While some police officers are out on the street, others are doing the paperwork back at the station. Commissioner Gordon. James Gordon is police commissioner of Gotham City and one of Batman's greatest allies and friends. Crime fighters. Led by Lieutenant Harvey Bullock, the Major Crimes Unit includes some of Gotham's finest detectives, including Renee Montoya and Stan Kitch. Policing the streets. Police officers patrolling the streets, whether on foot or in police cars, are the first line of defense in the war on crime. Patrol officers work out of station houses. Each station house is responsible for a specific area of a town or city. Police officers cover these areas known as their beats, usually working in pairs. When an emergency call comes in, an operator contacts the station house closest to the crime. The dispatcher at the station house then radios the nearest police patrol officers. With their car's siren blaring, the officers race to the scene of the crime. Upon arrival, the officers assess the situation. If the crime is still in progress, or weapons are being used, or likely to be used, or if a hostage has been taken, the officers will radio to the police station for backup. This is a request for additional officers to be sent to the scene of the crime. If the crime is no longer in process, officers check to see if anyone needs medical attention, in which case an ambulance is called. Victims and witnesses are interviewed, forms are filled out, and a report is written, which is filed back at the station. The officers who are first on the scene must also prevent the crime scene from being disturbed to preserve any evidence that might help catch a criminal. Batman on patrol. Batman patrols Gotham City at night from the rooftops and shadows, using surprise, stealth, and fear to fight crime. The Bat Signal. When a crime is committed in Gotham City requiring Batman's unique skills, The bat signal is flashed against the night sky, letting the dark night know that he is needed. Detectives. The job of investigating a crime, searching for clues and evidence, and identifying the perpetrator falls to the detectives. All large police forces have detective bureaus, a specialized division of the force. Most police detectives worked first as beat cops, then trained to become detectives. When detectives arrive on the crime scene, they interview witnesses and victims. They also search the crime scene thoroughly, looking for evidence such as hair, clothing fibers, fingerprints, blood for getting DNA samples, footprints, mud tracked in from outside, tire marks on a road or driveway, or marks made by tools to open a window, door, or safe. By leaving the crime scene intact, detectives may try to recreate the sequence of events that led to the crime, to learn exactly what happened. Decoding this mystery so that the correct person or persons can be apprehended for the crime is the main task for the detective. Sometimes police dogs, also known as canine, shorthand for canine, it makes more sense in text. Canine officers assist detectives using their highly developed sense of smell. If a vital clue, like a piece of the suspect's clothing, is found, the canine officers can match that smell when encountering the actual subject. British sleuth. The most famous fictional detective of all time, along with Batman, is Sherlock Holmes, created by British author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in the 1890s. Dogs are used by many police officers to sniff out evidence, especially illegal drugs. This dog is wearing a reflective harness for working at night. Top detective. Crispus Allen is a former beat cop who worked his way up to become a detective in the Gotham City Police Department. Here, I'll show you. Here's the dog wearing his reflective thing. Here's Crispus. All right. So, I think we are going to stop for today, and then we will continue on, and we've got specialty teams. So we've got superhero specialty teams, and we've got human specialty teams, and we'll learn about that next. There's also the crime scene, forensics lab. Ooh, that's a long one. That's like 4 pages. Fingerprints. Criminal markings, DNA matching, all sorts of fun stuff. So we will learn about that on Sunday for bedtime stories. And then it looks like we'll probably wrap that up on Tuesday. All right. Thank you for the help waking up. I needed it, clearly. I am going to make another cup of coffee, and y'all enjoy your day.